What's going on, Bulls Nation? Welcome in to CHGO Bulls Pregame, presented by Coors Light. Get Coors Light delivered straight to your door with Instacart by going to CoorsLight.com/CHGO basketball. Cheers. I'm Peck. You can follow me at Bulls_Peck. My guys, Big Dave, Bow, BAWL Sports, Will the Go Gottlieb, Will_Gottlieb. Our pal producer on the controls, Mr. Joey Spathis. He's at Joey Spathis. Happy Monday. Bulls out west, late night basketball. Who's ready for it?
Me.
You guys ready for it?
Yeah, I just had my, what's that, C4?
Oh, you drank an energy drink?
Yeah, I'm good.
That's the can you just crushed?
Y'all
yeah, that's the can I just crushed and slammed down when Joey
When I say
points.
crushed, I don't mean he drank it quickly. I do mean that, but I also mean he literally crushed it in his hands afterwards and threw it on the ground.
I do that with all cans, just to let people know I'm done with it. I learned that, just at parties and stuff. When you
Every
put your drink
single
down.
can of liquid you've ever consumed, you crush.
You go to parties, that's a flex.
97%.
97%?
97% of every can I've had, I crush.
You go
Just
to
to let
parties?
people know it's over,
That's a flex.
Yeah, no, it's just letting them know it's done. You can do it too, Will. I see the pecs and the delts. Like, and you can crush a can.
Yeah, how about this new shirt?
There it is. That's
we
a segue.
We should cover that before we dive into our thoughts on tonight's upcoming Bulls-Kings game.
Hey, Julia.
Second of the two matchups against the Kings this season. Kings took the first one in Chicago back in early February. But before we talk Bulls-Kings, we have to talk about the new merch that just dropped. And the reason why it dropped, because today is our second birthday.
Hey!
CHGO launched March 4th, 2022. We were sitting here on this very set 2 years ago. I think we were the first pre/post game of any of the teams because we had Bulls Bucks that night.
Derrick Jones Jr. dunk on Giannis.
That's right.
I do remember that game.
Big Dave grabbed me and like pulled me out of my seat. Oh no, that was maybe Tristan Thompson dunk. Well, it was that game.
No, I think it was Derrick.
It was that game.
I think it was
I
Derrick,
don't know,
yes.
but yeah, and that was also like the second time I'd ever met him.
Yeah, and I did. Yeah, and I hugged him and crushed him, and
like that can.
Yeah, just like the can, same way, like an accordion.
I think Joey's a bit more durable than an aluminum can. I would hope. I mean, he's still here.
Well, yeah, he's flexible. You know what I mean? That's why I said an accordion. You know what I mean? You can push him in, squeeze him, but he'll be back. He'll be back on it.
Julia in the comments. What's up, Julia? Saying, hey, guys, these late night games are messing with my sleep.
Same.
I mean, well, welcome to our world. I don't know about you guys, but my sleep hours are not normal from October to April.
Oh, no, not at all.
So it's just, pushing it a little bit further. I think so. Tonight's a 9 p.m. tip Central. They got an 8 p.m. tip, another 9 p.m. tip. Mm-hmm. But then I think to round out their 4-game West Coast trip, their last game is a Sunday 3 p.m. tip off. So you
Saturday.
love that.
Not
or
one.
Saturday?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Not 2. 3 p.m. tip.
3 p.m. tip off. You know what else I remember about that day? You and I decided to stay back and watch the game. Mm-hmm. And they all were like, why are y'all staying back to watch the game? Because everybody went out to, have drinks,
somewhere nearby to have drinks and celebrate because everyone else's work day was done at that point.
Yeah, and me and Matt were
Save
like,
us.
No, bro, we got to focus. We got to watch this game. And they were like, we don't understand. And then they saw us in action. We understand. We get it now. We understand.
And then they saw me in action next to you guys in action, which was just
furious, the smoke. All the way.
Shout out and thanks to Flipside who said happy birthday, CHGO.
Thank you.
An incredible 2 years, truly.
It's been fun.
In honor of the occasion, we just earlier today dropped the Chicago collection at that CHGO merch locker. You can find a link to it in the description if you're watching on YouTube. Some incredible new designs from our graphic design team. Some ideas that came from people here at CHGO. You're rocking one of the classic CTA, but instead it says CHGO shirts, Goat.
I am.
Big Dave, rocking the gray.
Yes.
Love that. There's also a hoodie option on that with the L with the graffiti on it on the back of the hoodie.
Yes.
And
design.
we also have a new main CHGO flag logo in St. Patty's green.
Hey, Pep Day.
Hey, I ordered that today. Gotta have it. I love the Second City design too.
Yeah,
Just
that's
saying,
dope.
hey, this is the city.
Yeah.
And I am wearing maybe my favorite of the whole group, which is the Chicago pizza joint classic look.
You know what's funny about that on you? how you're dressed right now, if you walked into any pizza establishment, they're gonna hand you a pizza,
Right? Like,
like for no reason.
I look like a customer who orders too many, or also, as I just said to you before we went live, an employee.
Right.
I look like an employee of a Chicago pizza joint.
Like somebody's gonna look at you and say, "Hey, where the hell you been? We got pies baking back here. Let's go."
Yeah.
The only thing you're missing is the stash.
The stash. Ooh.
Sorry. it'll come back.
Sorry, not sorry.
But yeah, go shop that new Chicago collection at chgolocker.com. Awesome stuff there. That's right, Jeff. The train hoodie does look nice.
Thank you. Joey, what's your favorite?
Train hoodie. Shout out Big Dave. But
Shout
actually,
out.
no, it is. Let me look again though, because I like
mean,
them all.
I ordered, I think, most of these today when they went live. I got the St. Patty's. I got the Second City one. I got the gray CHGO L one.
Yeah.
And I got I'm already wearing this shirt, but I also ordered this in the hoodie.
It looks so
that
dope.
hoodie looks awesome.
That
I love
hoodie
the
looks
pizza.
amazing. Yeah, the white one just looks.
When you love pizza like I do, it just makes sense.
it's true.
I
There
also
it is.
like Second City with the same. It's just
Yeah.
like what?
the Second City. Yes.
But
Speaking of pizza,
city.
I mean, like we missed most of the birthday party festivities for ourselves earlier today when our normal day shift people are here, but they got some delicious Salernos as part of their little like lunch festivities. There's still some left over. I had a slice of cold Salernos. I love cold pizza.
Yeah.
But yeah, shout out to them. They're our name sponsor for our new tavern style segment that we do.
What was on it?
There are a few different toppings in there, none of which, of course, were up to my standards of multiple
Meat.
meats. But it's okay because I went to a steakhouse on Friday and Sunday this past weekend. So
Flex,
veggie
flex.
there are some slices left in there that have veggies on them.
Okay. Wait, just veggies? So wait, I don't even like how you said that.
Yeah, I was about to say that too.
Yeah, he didn't
No,
say that
I
right.
mean,
right?
it looked like it was just like peppers and maybe onion. I don't know.
Chicken and
Okay.
It
fish.
looked
Right,
like
right.
there were toppings that were of the vegetable persuasion.
Okay.
And I did not see any pepperoni or sausage in there.
But you might include chicken and vegetables. I worry about that.
Fish meat is practically a
Okay,
vegetable.
yeah. See, okay, we got to check with you. We got to check.
Direct
man.
quote
Okay.
on Swanson. Shout out also, thanks Jeff for the happy birthday wishes. So grab yourself some of this cool new Chicago collection merch at the merch locker. Link in the description. Guys, real quick before we dive into Kings and Bulls, 2 years. Highlight, favorite moment.
Oh, so 2 years here.
Yes.
I'm looking. When he said Kings, my mind went to the Kings.
No, I'm talking about our
What am I
2-year
thinking about?
anniversary, baby.
Why are you staying looking at Lawrence?
Okay, you know what? No, my favorite
That's
moment
one
was
of them.
not meeting Lawrence, but it was a weird one because I walked in here the first day. We were like assembling some of these set chairs together.
Okay.
And I was like, this dude looks way too much like Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah,
Like,
because of the hair.
Back
yeah,
when he had the
yeah.
long hair.
Yeah, I remember.
And I was
Caleb
like,
Williams' favorite quarterback.
It is. Who does Caleb think to go?
Me
with?
and Lawrence put together the bookshelf. That is.
That's
where
your
is it
favorite
now?
memory?
That was your highlight?
Well, of the first day, yeah, and also with Clark, and it was actually very tough assembly, and the instructions were not helpful, but we got it done, and we had I think like a daisy cutter, if I do recall.
I think Joey
Special
also
night.
lost his last baby tooth on his first day here at CHGO
Oh,
Studios.
look at
That
that.
was Baby Joey.
Good job,
Ha
man.
ha ha ha.
Good job, Joe. Proud of you, man.
That's
Big
false.
boys growing up. Going to Paris, obviously. I mean, I think that's probably the biggest highlight for me. Like,
I mean,
going to Paris was
Paris was
it.
outrageous.
Yeah, that was it. Like,
I
And,
can't
like,
believe that happened.
Meeting Bulls fans in Paris.
People knew
like
too.
of
shout
us
out
in
Uwe,
Paris.
Yes.
shout out Ibrahim, shout out to our guys Matt and Neil from C-Ray UK.
Yes.
Shout out Jimmy from UK Chicago Bulls. We
I met
saw
a
all
black
of them
man
over
from
there.
Ireland.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Incredible stuff.
That was
so-
wild.
So Jake did want me to show this, and I was like on the fence, and then Matt has to get in his wisecracks about my baby teeth. So I didn't know you were in Home Alone though, Matt.
Oh, that is me.
Hey, there
You
he
didn't know
is.
that?
But
Yeah. I was a tall, lanky blonde in the early 90s.
yes.
Hanging out with Joe Pesci.
Matt was a little bigger.
Yeah.
Around that age. But,
I don't see a mustache on that guy.
yeah, he was more Joe Pesci size.
I mean, he is rocking a flannel that I absolutely would
Yeah,
wear.
oh, yes, that is true. That is a Matt Peck special.
And a red hat.
Yeah. So, yeah, he did go right with the style. He went absolutely correct with that. for
Yeah.
Sure. But yeah, like those are some of my favorite. Like
Also, as cool as us going to Paris is all of the different times we've gotten to experience Bulls fans who live internationally making a pilgrimage to Chicago.
Yeah.
And have gotten to, soak up that experience.
That's what I was going to say.
Most recently, our guy Adam from over there in the UK, shout out. We got to meet him at the Bulls game on Tuesday.
And his lady. Shout out to y'all both, man.
He got his dream come true. He got to meet Patrick Williams at the last game they went to while they were here in town. He got his jersey signed by Pat. And just see how much it means to Bulls fans who come to Chicago and get to really soak up the full Bulls fan experience, and that also are interested in connecting with us as a part of that Bulls fan experience, because that will never not blow our minds.
That is always crazy and weird.
I was going to say, talking about fans from international coming here when Mark was here.
Dude, Mark's trip.
That was such a trip for me because Mark and I have been podcasting and writing and blogging together for almost 10 years. It was the first time I met him. He got to come sit in this chair and do a show with us. He and I were standing courtside watching warm-ups on the United Center floor. That was very cool. I mean, but just like to have that experience for him to come here, and I mean, that was very awesome.
And he shed a tear or two too.
Yeah.
Also,
a couple of them.
I remember that. That was awesome. I ended up giving him a ride home that night too, man. We talked during that time. So, that was a great moment. You're right. That was a really great moment, man. Meeting him.
I think last thought, and then we can take a quick break and come back and actually talk about tonight's hoops. But and it's something that our guy Kev, head of content here at CHGO, said in his newsletter that he put out this morning celebrating our second birthday. The fact that we have grown like this as a new sports media company in Chicago, most of the credit obviously goes to our fellow sports fans who have tuned in to our content, our coverage.
Thank y'all.
And it's crazy how much the growth has happened in the last 2-year span where Chicago sports across the board have been pretty terrible. Pretty terrible. Like, as we launched, the Bulls were a playoff-bound team, but sinking quickly in the standings.
Yeah.
They lost their first-round series in 5 games.
Yes.
And then went to the play-in, didn't make it out last year.
Yes.
And that's just where the Bulls are. Bears.
Oh.
Highest moments for them, securing a number 1 draft pick.
Yeah.
2 times.
2 times.
Chicago Blackhawks.
Yeah.
Highest high, securing the number 1 pick in the lottery to get Connor Bedard.
Awesome moment.
And a bunch of mediocre, if not flat-out terrible baseball on both sides of town.
Yeah. Cubs had some awesome moments. The Cubs White Sox series when Morel hit the home run. That was an awesome moment, man.
It
was a good moment for
But again, 2 years of content covering Chicago sports teams and barely a sniff of playoff action for any of them.
Yeah, including the soccer teams as well. But even the Sky, because we thought that was a wrap as far as them winning a championship. We talked about it like it was a foregone conclusion, and I still don't know. I watched that game live, and I still don't know how they lost that game, man. But yeah, like it's been those tough times, but I just truly appreciate those fans every single time when we were sending all these, happy birthday and all those happy anniversary things. They kept saying, even though our team sucked, you guys are the highlight of our fandom. We enjoy watching you guys. You guys keep us going as far as enjoying these teams. Even some people who don't watch the teams anymore, just like, I just want to watch you guys.
Right, yeah.
And you guys keep me happy, and you guys entertain me and keep me abreast of what's going on with them. So that's a big compliment for me.
It is. Last thing, we did want to mention also, as of right now, I just got an update from our buddy Law. We are 100 subscribers away from 50K.
Come on, y'all.
Let's get to that 50,000 subscribers by the time we wrap post-game later tonight.
I want to have 50K happen while we're live.
It may be past 12 a.m. Central Time, so not technically on our anniversary. It may turn to March 5th by the time we wrap up post-game. But whatever. It's our 2-year anniversary today. Right. It's still today until we get home and go to bed.
That's right.
Let's get to that 50K subscriber mark before the end of post-game tonight. Tell your friends, tell your family, hey, go subscribe to CHGO Sports, because it would be really awesome
this, man.
to get to that 50K mark by the end of today.
Make 20 accounts. Subscribe on all of them. That counts,
Boom.
Whatever floats your boat.
Joey handing out secrets.
All right, a couple of quick shout-outs from sponsors, then we'll come back and talk Bulls Kings on deck tonight. You know what to do in the meantime. Hit that like button and, of course, subscribe. Pregame tonight brought to you by our friends at Prize Picks, the largest daily fantasy sports platform in North America. They're the easiest and most exciting way to play DFS. It's just you against the numbers. Instead of battling thousands of other players, including pros, sharks, spreadsheet weirdos lurking in their basements. No, you just pick more than or less than on 2 to 6 different player stat projections and watch the winnings roll in. I heard our guy Mario on CHGO Hawks Pregame earlier.
Yes.
Talking about some of the picks that he was making for tonight.
He did.
Including some Bulls action.
I think 9.5 rebounds from Vooch.
Yep. He took the over on, I think, 19.5 points for DeMar tonight.
9 points for Io, I believe.
I'm taking assists on Io tonight.
Oh, okay.
Liking that. Also making some picks on some Kings players to do some things tonight.
I am surprised.
Not gonna lie.
First bucket, Joe?
Aaron Fox.
Because as we know, football might be over. The action on the floor is heating up, whether it's tournament season or the fight for playoff home court. There's no shortage of high-stakes basketball moments this time of year. I love gearing up for playoff basketball, for tournament basketball.
He meant that.
It's one of my favorite times of year. Get in on the excitement with Prize Picks, America's #1 fantasy sports app, where you can turn your hoops knowledge into serious cash. Conference tournaments are here. That means the biggest moments in college basketball are getting closer. Be a part of the action on Prize Picks for both men's and women's college hoops. Go to prizepicks.com/CHGO and use code CHGO for a first deposit match up to $100. That's prizepicks.com/CHGO, promo code CHGO for a deposit match up to $100. Pick more, pick less. It's that easy.
Matt Peck, what time is it?
Game time!
You shouldn't have to worry when you're buying tickets on your next big event. Game Time is the fast and easy way to buy tickets on all your sports, music, comedy, and theater events here with you with Killer! Last-minute deals, all-in prices, views from your seat, and their best price guarantee. Game Time takes the guesswork out of buying those tickets. Game Time has deals on tickets right up to the start of the event, and even an hour after it starts. It's not the place, no sir. It is the place to find last-minute seats. Find exclusive flash deals and sponsored deals on tickets for football, hockey, basketball, baseball, concerts, comedy, theater, and so much more. And with zone deals, you pick the section, Game Time will do the selecting for an average savings of Pizza Pack. Drum roll, please.
Slice!
18%. And Game Time guarantee means you'll always get the best price possible. So take the guesswork out of buying those tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use that code CHGO. Get your wonderful self $20 off. Terms apply. Again, create an account, redeem the code CHGO. Get your beautiful self $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. Because we'll go got Lee. What time is it? What the was that? Did he sneeze?
Yeah.
Game Time for
An owl snuck into our studio somehow.
Get the owl a tissue.
Had a hole in the ceiling. All right, y'all.
Never doing that again. Jesus.
Bulls Kings Part 2 of the season tonight out in Sacramento. Bulls starting lineup tonight. Caruso was on the injury report again, listed as questionable. Game time decision with that hamstring that's been bugging him. He is active and in the starting lineup, along with Kobe, Io, DeMar, and Vooch. Also, good news for the Bulls.
Come on.
Couple of updates about Tory Craig, who we were saying on a recent show, like, you know what, after the Pat stuff and the Zach stuff, like, wouldn't be surprised if we just never see Tory Craig ever again.
Yeah.
'Cause that's just how Bulls fans feel about injury updates right now.
Yeah.
But Julia Poe of the Trib had a video of him at morning shootaround that she posted earlier today, where you see Tory Craig doing some legit, like, side-to-side running, some cutting, some actual physical stuff out there at shootaround. We had heard from Billy late last week saying no indication yet if Tory could return earlier or later than that initial 2 to 4 week timeline, which, again, Bulls fans are always terrified of.
Facts.
But we got another update from Billy when he met with the media tonight before game time. This is via a tweet from Casey Johnson. Billy Donovan said Tory Craig's return on this 4-game trip, quote, isn't out of the question. No guarantee. When he does return, it will be on a strict minutes limit. But that is, at least to me, surprisingly positive update news when it comes to Tory Craig, because we heard 2 to 4 weeks, and Bulls fans always assume the back end of those initial timelines. And now we're talking about he might make an appearance before this 4-game West Coast trip is over.
And that would be awesome. Like, please, my goodness, they are lacking so much at that wing position, obviously with Patrick Williams being out. But not just the size and not just, the skill set, but just the mental fortitude, man, that he's going to bring, the IQ that he can help bring to the Bulls. He always makes those plays on the floor those Caruso kind of plays, those high IQ plays. You see Tory Craig making all the time for the Bulls while hitting that key three-pointer that they need. He'll just be big. He'll just be a big piece if they could get him back. And those healing powers are really, really fast, man. Shout out to him for that.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, it would be, if he's back, like, for the Golden State game on Thursday, I think that would be 2 weeks, right? So usually on, like, a 2 to 4 week timetable, it's, like, reevaluated in 2 to 4 weeks.
Right.
Not like he's back on the court. So we'll see what the minutes restriction is. We'll see. Like, I don't even really know what the injury was or, like, how it happened. Obviously, we didn't see it because it was
happened
in
over All-Star break.
It was while he was working out.
Yeah.
Right.
So it was like a sprain, I guess, but I just don't know like the specifics of it, and it's kind of hard to get that information at times. So hopefully it was nothing too serious. Obviously, they'll monitor his minutes and do all of that, but I mean, they just need bodies, as we've talked about. They need like I don't want them to get to a point where they have to like rely on the Drummond and Vooch lineup because they don't have another power forward.
Yeah.
And I think that's where they've kind of had to live a little bit these last few games. So just getting him back will, I think, open up a lot in the rotation.
Yeah, giving yourself options on the floor is never a bad thing.
Yeah,
absolutely right.
For the Kings, meanwhile, fairly clean injury report. Just the one very prominent name being De'Aaron Fox, who had missed the last couple of games with a contusion in his left knee. He is, however, available to play tonight. Their coach, Mike Brown, said available and no restrictions on that availability, making his return after a brief absence. So bad news for Bulls and their fans, because if y'all recall, in that early February Kings win at the UC, Fox went off for 41 points, I believe.
He's quite good.
Just dominant stuff from him. I think he was like shooting. He shot over 50% from the field on 20-plus field goal attempts.
I'm looking at it.
Sabonis also did his thing. A modest scoring night, but he put up what seemed like an effortless triple-double with dimes and boards on top of his, I think, like 13 or 14 points. It was a weird game. In case you missed it or don't recall, the Kings built a 30-point lead by early in the third quarter, and Bulls fans were like, well, this is over. And then it was like a 1 or 2 possession game for a large stretch of the fourth quarter after the Bulls mounted a comeback. They got 24 from DeMar and Vooch in that game. They got 26 from Kobe in that game. The Bulls found a way to come back from 30 down and make it a very tightly contested, competitive game in the final stretch. Couldn't fully pull off the comeback. So obviously that's what's on the Bulls' mind tonight. Hey, can we keep ourselves close with this team earlier on and not try to have to bury ourselves out, which is something we've seen this Bulls team do a lot.
Yeah, and you mentioned De'Aaron Fox averaging almost 30 points a game in the last 3 games against the Bulls. You mentioned that 41-point game. He had 32 the previous game. He just goes crazy. Who could forget that game winner also the last time? I think you and I were the only ones here for that, but it was cold-blooded and violent. And it was really like, damn. So, yeah, De'Aaron Fox really enjoys playing against the Bulls, which is interesting because the Bulls' depth comes at guard. And he comes in, just destroys the guards that we have to let you know just how good he truly, truly is, man. But man, they have no choice. They have to go out there and they got to face this, man. And hopefully, guys like Ayo, who I think has learned a thing or two playing against him, can show improve. Hopefully, guys like Kobe, who has gotten some rest and some sleep, will be going up against a guy like De'Aaron Fox, man. Matching that speed against each other will be interesting as well. So. But De'Aaron Fox is De'Aaron Fox. Like, it's really nothing you could do about that, man. But you just have to try to match that kind of talent.
And they have played a little bit better of late. Last year, obviously, they were like the greatest offense of all time.
Yeah, historically good offense.
And they kind of fell off a bit this year. On the season, they're only 14th in offense. But over the last 2 weeks, they're 6th at 119 offensive rating, which is really good. And I think they're just kind of like catching their stride a little bit. They've had a really tough schedule. I mean, their last couple games: Minnesota, Denver, Miami, Clippers, Spurs, Denver, Phoenix, OKC, Denver. So it's been a tough stretch for them, but they're really competing in these games, and I think they're kind of finding out if they can like get back to that offensive firepower form that they were in last year. And yeah, I mean, you mentioned the Bulls' depth at guard. Like, that's that's the thing is like the way that they play, they don't play any defense. So it's like, can you score with us?
Right. Exactly.
And, last time the Bulls played them, Kobe really went off.
He did.
But he's been struggling lately. And we don't know if it's the minutes or what, but like he has been in a bit of a shooting funk. So if the goal here is going to be to try to outscore this team, how are you going to do that if one of your best scorers isn't competing at his highest level?
I mean, I think most of the season we've known that the best chance the Bulls have at doing that is by capitalizing points off turnovers, getting out in transition when they can. And that's something I saw also in Billy's pregame comments. He said, yeah, the Kings just really killed us in transition in that game back in February.
Yeah.
Because the Bulls are a team that's been good about limiting their own turnovers. So when you win that points off turnover battle, it can help make up for the fact that on most nights the Bulls are losing the 3-point battle, which they did in their early February loss to this Kings team. It wasn't one of the more egregious losses the Bulls have had in that 3-point disparity. The Kings drilled 15 threes on 38.5%. The Bulls hit 11 on 32.5%. So not great, but not the worst we've seen. It wasn't 2 of 29. But worth noting, and I wanted to give a shout out to our old friend over at NBC Sports Chicago, Kevin Anderson, because he was talking about this on the latest Bulls Talk that came out yesterday or this morning about the Bulls and the number of open threes that they're giving up, which is something that they've been doing fairly consistently, not just this season, but last season. They're prioritizing defense in the paint. The Bulls are the best team in the NBA, I believe, in limiting teams' points in the paint this season. What they do give up is a lot of good looks from 3-point range. And so basically I'm just kind of regurgitating what Bulldog said on the Bulls Talk pod, because I think for tonight's matchup, it is important and notable. The Kings have the fifth highest percentage of total field goal attempts being 3-point field goal attempts in the NBA, 43.5%. They also have the 8th highest percentage of their made 3-pointers being assisted at nearly 88%, meaning they find good looks for each other.
Yes, sir.
And most every single 3 they hit is an assisted 3. And they are shooting the 5th highest percentage of total 3-point attempts in the NBA. The Bulls, meanwhile, and this is what Bulldog was talking about, the second most allowed open or wide open 3-point attempts to their opponents per game this season. Only the Pelicans allow more. Wide open is determined to be no one within 6 feet of that shooter when he shoots. Open is 3 to 6 feet nearest defender when they shoot. The Bulls give up 20 wide open threes a game, 14.5 open threes a game. So collectively, that is 34.5 open threes or wide open threes per game. And you're about to face a team tonight that loves taking threes and does a good job finding each other for open threes.
And also shout out to Book, because he also said in that's basically like the Bulls are starting down 9 points every single game by giving up that amount of threes. So. But the other part, which,
if you'll recall, is exactly what AK said at the end of last year's press conference exit interview. And where are we now?
Back at the same place we were before.
We signed Javon Carter and Torrey Craig.
We're still here. Help! But yeah, like they're still stuck in the same place. Of course, guys have gotten better at shooting and all those things, but it's the fact of what they're giving up to these other teams. And then you're playing one of the best out there. Again, this is the team I saw put up 170 points.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, this is what they do, man. They score.
We were watching that Bulls-Pistons game Tuesday last week thinking, like, man, some of these Bulls defensive rotations are atrocious.
Yes.
And how are all these Pistons shooters getting so wide open?
So wide open,
the Pistons we're talking about.
And that's like the defense the Bulls have built.
All
we can maybe
Piston
spend
shooters.
more time on this after the game because it's like an in-depth conversation, but like the Bulls take away the paint, and like what Billy has said multiple times is then you got to get out to contest shooters, especially in the corner. We're willing to give up some of those above the break threes, but their opponents are shooting 43% from the corners, which is the second highest number in the entire league.
Cooking
as far as what teams are shooting on corner threes against the Bulls. But above the break, they're shooting only 35%, which is the 5th lowest, which means even if the Bulls can maybe expect that number from the corners to come down a little bit, like there's also room for it to go way up on above the break threes. So they don't get out there and contest and really turn down some of the shot quality on some of those. Like The Bulls are second to last in the entire league in a stat called location effective field goal percentage, which basically measures if teams shot league average from different zones on the floor, rim, mid-range, corner three, above the break three, what would their team's effective field goal percentage be? How efficient would they be scoring?
Okay.
That's a 29th number in the league, meaning teams would be scoring, if they were shooting league average from every spot, they would be shooting the second highest number in the entire league, which means the shot diet that you're giving up is not efficient whatsoever.
It's not a diet, you're fat.
Andrew McKay in the comments said, let's see, your best perimeter defender is playing power forward. Can't imagine why they give up so many open threes.
Oh, man, dog. No, that's bad.
I mean, he's probably the reason why they're not giving up as many as they could be.
Yeah.
He's breaking them up before they even happen.
Like, even hearing this, all I'm thinking of this entire time is Keegan Murray. Because I'm just like, man, he should be wide open on a bunch of things, man, tonight.
Yeah.
He should be really, really cooking.
I mean, I think his over-under for made threes tonight when I was just making a parlay was set at 3.5.
Ooh, take that, Matt.
3.5 made threes for Keegan Murray. And, like, he's just one of them. Like, we know Herter is dangerous.
Yeah, not consistent.
Behind the perimeter. We know, I know he's having a kind of a down year percentage-wise, but we know that he can get hot. We know that Barnes can knock down shots.
Sure.
Like even De'Aaron Fox, he's not a big, range shooter.
Right.
Does a lot of damage inside, but he can shoot.
He can shoot, yeah.
You'll even occasionally see like Sabonis or even like Malik Monk knock down a three.
Oh, Malik, yes, absolutely.
Who, by the way, I just saw Mike Brown had a video from the Kings main Twitter account advocating for him Sixth Man of the Year.
Malik Monk.
Aggressively advocating Malik for Sixth Man of the Year.
He should have got it last year, to be real.
We will see what happens tonight trying to slow down this Kings offense that, as you said, Will, not exactly the dominant and historically good offense they were last season, but have started to put some things together in recent weeks. And they are fighting for their life because they are in a record tie and I think have the tiebreaker in sixth, avoiding the play-in tournament out west right now. That playoff picture out west is
poopy,
bonkers.
Just everybody clumped in together. You could be the best team in the West, and then the next week you're like the fifth best team in the West.
As one of our good friends would say, abolish the East. Although, what was that? Was it Warriors?
Yes,
Celtics?
Warriors.
That score from last night?
Ass whooping.
It's like 180
between
to
the crevice and cracks,
like,
sir.
That was nuts.
Over at halftime.
Absolutely nuts.
Yeah, they can't
some
beat Boston.
unresolved anger going on, I think, from the 2021 NBA Finals.
That's a great point, sir. Excellent point.
Celtics had it, man.
Until
they didn't.
Excuse me.
It is past 9 Central. We will get out of here because tip-off is just a couple minutes away. Hit that like on your way out if you didn't do it yet. We appreciate you for hanging out with us. Appreciate the likes. Subscribe to the CHGO Sports YouTube channel. Tell your friends. Tell your family. Tell your dog to subscribe. People make freaking Instagram accounts for their dogs. Make a YouTube burner account for your dog and have your dog subscribe to CHGO Sports. Want to get to that 50K by the time we wrap post-game tonight. We are so close.
So close. So close.
Law wants it.
Hey, Law.
Law needs it.
He needs it.
Follow Will_Gottlieb. He's the GOAT. Big Dave Bow, BAWL Sports.
That's me.
I'm Bulls_Peck. We are CHGO
Bulls.
Our pound producer is Joey Spathis. He is at Joey
producer.
Spathis. Shout out to everybody for tuning in. We will see you for post game. Let's watch some hoops.